Before we begin with Witches and Weebs, let us cleanse our energies with a protective mantra started by space and finished by Baji.
If you are positive, you better bless this space. If you are negative, you better get up out my face. If you are positive, you better bless this space. If you are negative, you better get up out my face. If you are positive, you better bless our space. If you are negative, you better get up out my face.
Period!
There we go.
Our space.
We have our space.
That is gonna hit every time.
We have 17 other people out there with us.
We appreciate you all.
Absolutely. Every single last one of you. Thank you for coming.
Welcome, everybody.
Yes! Welcome back to Witches and Weebs, where otaku and spirituality come together. Our mission is to build a community using the mysterious and fascinating ways of witchcraft and spirituality and combining it with fandom culture. I am Mazari. You can call me Ari. You can call me Mia. You can call me Mother if you're ever so daring. And I am joined by my two lovely witches.
Hello, I'm Baji.
Oh no.
I'm Space.
How are you doing?
And I am your chaotic chaos witch who clearly everyone likes to make fun of.
I'm Space.
Space.
I'm Space.
This bitch said mediation.
Everybody point and laugh.
Point and laugh.
You are awful.
Okay, so we are continuing this episode from last week because we went over our designated time because we talk way too much. So the part 2.
Understatement.
Yeah, you're right. The part 2 of this video is us continuing the topic of our favorite tropes and what your favorite trope says about you. So in this part of the video, we're going to be talking about wound mapping, which is basically just identifying your wounds and seeing if those characters who share the same wounds speak to you. And then we're going to talk about shadow work and how we can tackle said wounds and trauma and everything else under that umbrella. So, join us for the ride.
Hooray!
That was so sexy, Mia. I'm never writing anything for you again. Just hope you know that. Never again.
Yeah.
We getting baseline basics in everything. Thank God.
Pretty much everybody's got damage. Let's explore it.
Yeah. Oh my God. Every single main character is got a you could wound map for days the same character.
Tell me about it. No, literally, tell me about it.
Oh yeah, we're here to talk about it. We're here to talk about all this shit. I mean, where do we start with abandonment wounds?
Yeah, that sounds like a good starting point.
I mean, you've watched Naruto.
Yup.
The two main leads are disasters of abandonment.
And further impacted by every other adult in their life failing them completely.
Oh my God. I mean, Naruto has the whole village against him from the time he was a child. I don't know how that boy turned out as well adjusted in the way that he is.
He faked it until he made it.
I was about to say, easy. Anime writers made him.
Right. he did fake it until he made it. And that's pretty, on God, that's pretty accurate for the rest of us, though.
True.
Yeah.
I can understand why somebody relates to Naruto, though. Because he really did fake it until he made it.
Yeah. A lot of people don't really embrace their abandonment issues, and if they do, they sometimes have a really toxic way of coping with it.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
The way Naruto coped, he was just a rebel. He was going on painting on the ninja Mount Rushmore of Hokages and being chased around the village by the third Hokage and everybody else.
He was basically just a rebellious teenager. Whereas Sasuke committed war crimes.
Sasuke, okay, well, Naruto is a little toxic, but not really toxic. It's more like he was just kind of, what is the term I'm trying to say?
Ignorant.
Yeah, well, he was ignorant, but he was more to himself about his issues, whereas Sasuke is like, dang, my older brother killed everyone in my family. I have no adult that cares about me, but I don't care about anyone else. I'm gonna join this snake man in a completely different village so I can destroy the Hidden Leaf village. Is that not toxic?
That's very toxic.
That is very toxic. Then again, he kind of had help with that process.
I mean, well, yeah, he had to go to the quote-unquote bad guys for that.
Let's see. What other characters would match the abandonment?
I mean, Monkey D. Luffy.
See, for him, I was thinking more like guilt.
Luffy?
Well, I think...
Because of what happened with Shanks.
I don't think Luffy feels guilty about that.
No, I don't think Luffy feels guilty about that. I think Luffy's biggest issue is not wanting to be alone, so I think it is an abandonment issue. He wants to sit and make sure that all of his friends are taken care of because he doesn't want to be left behind by himself.
Okay, yeah, that's a good example of positive ways of dealing with abandonment issues.
Oh yeah, I would say he is like the epitome of positivity, a positive way to go about it, because even though technically he is a pirate in his universe, he doesn't actually act like a pirate at all. He is the what the fuck? Outlier. He is the outlier. Because all the other pirates kind of act like pirates. They pillage, they fucking do the bad shit, they do criminal shit. He just topples governments because his friend was hungry and needed food.
Another major example, and this one is kind of a neutral to me, honestly. Just to me, let's talk about them Elric brothers.
Oh yeah,
that'll be for y'all because I again have not seen Full Metal Alchemist.
Basically, dad wanders off. No one knows if he's alive or dead as kids. Mom just straight up fucking dies of anime mom disease at one point when they're like 8.
The funny part is they actually have them here for something else, but you're right, they definitely have abandonment wounds.
And so they decide, oh wait, our dad's not around, but we have this weird transformation thing where we can trade materials for magic. Let's revive mom. That don't turn out too good. Especially not when you're trying to do this at like 10.
I mean, has anybody seen Tokyo Ghoul?
No.
I've seen a few episodes of season 1, and then I saw the last episode of season 1, and I'm just like, it's alright.
I would read the manga over anything for one. Because the anime does not do the manga justice at all. I'm going to tell you right now.
I feel like that's with most manga and anime transitions. They just don't capture the essence of the manga, and that's what people are excited to look forward. Like they're looking forward to seeing how the manga adapts, or how the anime adapts the manga.
I think
there
that
are
is
some
only
exceptions, though.
I was going to say that there's exceptions where the manga is so far ahead that the anime makers never catch up. So they're just constantly adapting canon material.
Weirdly, Naruto is one of the exceptions where the anime is actually better than the manga. Because the manga, right around the time after, Sasuke did the thing, and I'm saying that because spoilers, the manga just decided, let's have 17 filler arcs before we go to the next, before we get to the time skip.
I thought that fillers were because the anime had caught up to the manga.
No. In this case, it was like they were both at kind of like the same point, and then the manga just wanted to like pad volumes.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Oh, so like it wasn't like arcs that were necessarily important to storytelling.
They had Naruto hanging out with Killer Bee for an entire book, and all they do is some dumbass shit and then freestyle rap that everybody hates. That was an entire book.
I want it.
I have nothing to say to that because I've actually never seen Naruto or Naruto more than 50 episodes, but I know that man is fucking abandoned. What other fucking animes
Well,
have you guys seen?
well, not enough for like the abandonment wound, because usually when a
That's fair.
character has that wound, they're not the main character. Like it's very
Right.
rare that it's the main character that has that, but like abandonment wound is usually given to like a really good side character that is unfortunately doomed.
You're right. You're right.
So like the side characters are just like, I've been hurting for so long in silence, but I'll sacrifice everything for my friends, and then they go out in a blaze of glory trying to save like the rest of their group. That's that character.
That is very, very true. Okay, well, we could also move on to, well, I mean, we could talk about the side characters. Someone's gotta fucking, what am I trying to say?
I don't know. You lost your own damn self there.
Where did I go? I went all off in a different direction. Anyway,
Where
we could,
is my mind? Oh no, copyright.
oh yeah, definitely, no. We don't want copyright strikes. None of that
I
here.
think the Pixies would be cool with it.
You might be right. So, I mean, we can always move on to guilt.
Ooh, the guilt wound.
I mean,
So, this is the hero that did some really stupid shit and is now trying to make up for it through the entire anime, pretty much.
and the funny
Who
part
does that
is,
speak to you like that?
I definitely think, given what's really, really popular and what just finished right now, Eren Yeager.
Eren Yeager, I would also say Vash the Stampede.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely he's got some major guilt wounds.
In both iterations.
I haven't seen the second iteration, just for a reminder, but no doubt in my mind. He wouldn't be Vash if he didn't have guilt wounds.
Exactly. Another good one is the entire Joestar family from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh my god! You're so right.
Literally. Oh.
It is generational.
My dad found an orphan and brought him into the house one day. I'll treat him like a brother. Oh, he's kind of an asshole. Oh, he's an actual psychopath. He killed our dad. Well, time for a quest for justice that'll last multiple family generations.
Talk about generational trauma. If you didn't think it was real, there it is. Like, that is pure generational trauma. Spike Siegel from Cowboy Bebop.
Ooh, yeah, Spike's a big one. Jet, too, honestly. I think
Oh,
everyone except Faye.
Yeah, I would say you're probably right. Everyone but Faye.
Because Faye I would put under trust.
Yeah, absolutely. She definitely fits under trust.
Even Ayn has a guilt wound.
I mean, we could also... What animes are you guys watching right now?
One Piece.
I'm
Okay,
actually watching no anime at the moment because I am taking a horror movie retreat.
That's fair. That's
where
fair.
I'm catching up on the backlog of stuff I've missed since 2015.
Only because we gotta figure out...
Yeah.
Okay, Light from Death Note.
Yes.
Ooh, that... yeah.
Okay, like
See,
it's not even the guilt that's like, oh man, oh I did something bad. It's like, oh shit, I fucked up. Oh god, what do I do? Oh god, I'm being investigated. Oh no! All right, everyone goes into the Death Note.
Yeah, that's it.
I would say at the same time, it has another one on top of that, and that's, oh, I used to be a regular kid, but there was so much fucking injustice in the world, but I didn't realize it was injustice until I got the power of a fucking god.
And the funny part is like, he does descend into the guilt, but it's the reverse guilt. He feels that the people around him... What am I trying to say again?
Everybody around him let him down.
Yeah.
My man got abandonment issues too. Dang.
He does.
Well,
The funny part is he comes from the perfect family, but no one notices his descent into madness.
Yeah, literally, his mom and dad are just like, we'll support you through fucking anything. Meanwhile, he's in his room. They don't fucking get me. They're assholes. I'm a genius.
Yeah, it's like they're letting him down by that. So he's got abandonment wounds in that way, and he feels the guilt of not feeling guilty about his killings.
Yeah, Light
He feels
Yagami,
guilty
aka
doing things
Ultimate
wrong.
Shitty Teen.
he feels guilty doing things wrong that lead to his capture. He doesn't feel guilty about the killings ever.
Including the fact that he straight up killed police officers that were just doing their job.
Right.
Yeah, like he never feels that kind of
Like
guilt.
that's not
wound.
even an ACAB statement. That's just like, nah, these ones just didn't even do anything. They just dropped in the street.
Death
I
Note is just
mean-
wild.
Yeah, I
It
can't
really
believe
is.
a lot of people that like that was their first anime. Like, I feel bad, like, but it's like such a solid anime that it makes you want to watch more anime. But damn, is it a trip?
I will say one more for Guilt Wound, and that is from a older anime. I'm not sure how many people would have watched this. It was called Outlaw Star, and that shit was awesome. But the main character from that, Geen, had like some seriously fucked up shit in his past, and then the entire anime is just like the opening scene for that anime was just, oh, I got everyone I know and love killed. Well, better become a bounty hunter and just try and catch as many shitty people out in space as I can.
Oh, there's also speaking of that kind of one, that name sounds really familiar.
Outlaw
two-
Star was great.
And two, it actually reminds me that there's an anime out right now that speaks to the main character having major guilt issues. Because it's that magic with the crazy one. Where they cut off the lady's head.
You're gonna have to be descriptive here.
Okay, so in the first episode, they stripped the magic witch nude.
Oh! Oh, God, what is the name of that anime?
That main character, the dude, he has guilt, he has abandonment, he's got trust, and he's got neglect.
I'm not even sure what you're talking about. I'm gonna have to wait for Mia to have a sudden like Jimmy Neutron moment and brain
I'm
blast us with
trying
the title.
so hard to remember that. I
And
know
then they, like,
exactly what anime you're talking about.
They shoot her crazy, they cut off her head, they fucking,
Oh
they
my
do,
goodness.
it's so fucking wild, and then he gets unlocked out of, like, prison, like, several years later, I don't know, and they just go crazy.
Hold on, I have to ask somebody because I know exactly what you're talking about.
Hey, glad I'm not crazy, fuck yeah. I was like,
Meanwhile,
I know there's an anime like this.
there's always an anime like that. When you said like they stripped the like witch lady nude, at first I thought you were talking about like Goblin Slayer, and I'm like, wait, what?
No.
That was. I'm
What
pretty
is
sure
the
we got
name?
some guilt and abandonment wounds in Goblin Slayer too, for sure.
Goblin Slayer is just made of trauma.
That is very true.
Oh, I just thought of another guilt wound.
Give it to me. Shoot.
Madoka Magica, the girl who could control time, whose name I forget. Her entire story is the guilt wound forming, and then her trying to fix it.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're not wrong at all. That's a huge guilt wound.
Her entire story is, oh, I've seen this shit happen multiple times. How do I fix this? How do I fix this? Go back, go back.
Yes, like go back, go back. That's consistent.
Homura.
That's her name?
Yeah.
I got, has anybody seen Blue Exorcist?
Barely.
No, I have never seen it.
Yu Yu Hakusho?
I have seen it.
Well, I mean, Yusuke.
Yusuke and Kurama.
Oh, you're right. Absolutely. Kurama too. They both have guilt wounds. I mean, Shinji from Fate Stay Night. Absolutely. And what kind of wound does Shinji from Neon Genesis Evangelion fucking not have?
Neglect. He is the neglect wound personified, honestly.
I know, but he has all of it. He's definitely got all of it.
I think the root, though, is the neglect.
Oh, absolutely. That's the root cause of everything. But, like, as he gets the guilt wound as the story goes. He starts with just neglect, and I think a little bit of abandonment issues, too. But then develops trust and guilt wounds as the story goes on. Given the story. No way he cannot have trust whenever that shit goes down.
True. Another
And
one
guilt
where
after everything, after the end of that shit. Oh my god, I feel so guilty. I'd never be able
I-
to live with myself.
I know I've said this show like so many fucking times, but all four wounds present in Magical Girl Sight, because the entire premise of the anime is you don't get magical girl powers unless you are a very traumatized preteen girl.
I mean, you have to be traumatized to be a magical girl.
That's literally the only way that you can find the site, is you have to have some dark trauma.
I'm trying to figure out the anime with fucking Mia. Almost,
I've been trying to figure this anime out for so long because I know what you're talking about. Somebody was talking to me about it too, and why can't I remember what it's called?
And didn't it just come out?
I think so.
Fuck.
You'll find it. You'll find it, and then we'll edit it in just right here.
Damn.
There we go. That's where we'll put that.
Alright. Okay, so how about trust issues?
Oh, I have the perfect one.
Every anime protagonist ever?
Yes, I'm about to name one right now. So,
Right.
there's a character in Oshinoko. He's the main character his name is Aqua. He's Ai's twin son. And I feel like he has trust issues because of what happened to his mom. Yep. So he's literally going around playing detective and deceiving everybody for his personal gain in his personal investigation. Like, he's like, I don't know who did this. I don't know who I can trust. So I'm just going to use everybody as like a pawn on my chessboard because they have no value to me until I accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish. Like, he's putting himself first because he doesn't trust anybody to not lead him astray with what he's doing.
Absolutely.
Very true. I would also say Keiichi Maebara from Higurashi, who is, like, the entire first arc of the show, and I think the video game, at least one of them, is him losing his mind because he learns he cannot trust anyone around him.
Spike also has trust issues.
Faye Valentine.
Faye definitely has fucking trust issues.
To the point of wiping her own memory.
Oh.
In fact, Ed, too.
Oh, yeah. He definitely has trust issues. He doesn't trust anybody but his brother and, oh my god, what's her name?
You forgot her name.
I forgot her name.
You forgot her name.
Winry.
Ooh, Winry's a big one. Riza Hawkeye, too.
Definitely.
Then again, actually, no, I want to redact Riza, actually, because she is guarded, but she does trust.
Yeah, she does trust. She trusts Roy with everything. She trusts her subordinates.
Roy, on the other hand...
Roy don't trust nobody. Roy got trust issues. And abandonment issues. And guilt issues. Because he definitely feels guilty over Hughes.
Well, he let his baby daddy, Maze Hughes, die.
Yeah. Yeah. And whew, that scene
let's
with
be
him
real,
and
Hughes
Envy.
did not have a wife.
The fucking scene with him and Envy and the fire. Oh my god, that was beautiful. That was so well done.
That is what we call catharsis.
Yeah, that was cathartic. That was cathartic for the whole fandom. Misa from Attack on Titan, she does not trust anybody but Eren.
Here's a weird one, because it's not a series, it's a movie. The Wolf Girl from Princess Mononoke.
Oh, what is her name?
Oh, yeah.
I think they just literally called her the Wolf Girl.
I thought she had a name.
I thought she had a name, too.
She did, but she only said it to the dude, like, once. And then they never brought it up again.
Ugh.
Oh, and if I'm on the Miyazaki kick, let's go No Face from Spirited Away.
Her name was Princess Mononoke, but that's pretty much it. Or the Wolf Girl. That's it.
But yeah,
No Face.
so mistrusting, she's just like, I don't even identify as a human anymore. Fuck all y'all.
Yeah, that's pretty much spot on for non-trusting. 02 definitely carries from Darling in the Franxx.
I have not watched Darling in the Franxx. I have been.
People ruined it for you.
No, people
Yeah.
didn't. Well, yes, that too, but I've just been like repelled from watching that show. I can't.
The internet
let's see.
community was really weird, actually. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I never actually saw the full thing.
Let's see here. Trust wound. David Martinez from the Cyberpunk anime.
Oh, fuck yeah. I didn't think we could bring that one up. But you're right.
It counts.
That shit's
It's such
so
a good
good.
show. I gotta rewatch it.
Yeah,
I gotta rewatch it for the 70th time.
That was a really good show, actually. I could never rewatch it because the ending devastated me. Broke me to
We're not going to talk about it if you haven't watched it, but you should watch it and then feel just as hurt as we are.
Oh my god. But it was so... They got you so invested. That it was so good. Like, the emotional payout was beautiful. But that shit broke me. Broke me to my core.
I will say, fuck Lucy, Rebecca is best girl.
I actually like Lucy, but Rebecca was best, more like dynamic girl. Lucy was very subdued, but I understand why. That was just the type of personality she was. So she wasn't really the main character. Like, she wasn't the main girl trope of someone super flamboyant, in your face, extra. She was very soft.
Which is why we love Rebecca.
Yeah, Rebecca was main girl trope.
This is a Rebecca Stan account.
I love Lucy, don't get me wrong, but I do love Rebecca.
Honestly, I didn't care for her, but we're sidetracking.
We are definitely sidetracking. Mia hasn't said a single fucking thing this whole time.
My Discord's restarting.
Oh.
Oh no.
I'm literally looking at Discord restarting right now.
Oh no.
Oh well, we can still hear you at least.
Yeah.
Okay. I just seen the twirling Discord screen.
Oh shit.
Let's see, who else has trust issues? Like, out the ass.
Let's see what we have here. Ooh, Yato from Noragami.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Absolutely. He's got so... I mean, given his past, like, he's got valid reasons to have trust issues. But Jesus, he don't trust nobody.
Denji from Chainsaw Man.
Oh, yes. I'm actually scared.
Who actually has such a bad version of the trope that he is now extremely bribable.
Yeah, he's very... I mean, that's the whole point of Makana. What she does to him is
actively
coercion.
the worst character.
I do not stand Makana. I do not think she's a girl boss. I think she's a piece of shit. And that's exactly the type of character she should be. A piece of shit.
Yeah.
No one should hype her because she fucking commits sexual coercion on a 16-year-old. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
She's not girl boss. She is a piece of shit. It's a well-written piece of shit, but it's a piece of shit nonetheless.
Is it bad that when the Darkness Devil showed up, I'm just like, yes, take her out, make it stick this time, do it! I actively dislike that show just because of her, honestly.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna give it a second chance because I do love the concept. I love everything about the devils and all that kind of shit. Mia wants to watch it, so will give it a second chance, but I do not like her. I do not think that she is any bit hypeable or redeemable. She is a piece of shit as she should be.
Exactly. Now then, we can move on to neglect, because there's a lot of examples of the trust wound, especially in protagonists.
Oh yeah.
Like, we'd be here all day. Neglect wound. Let's see here. We have
I mean,
Okay.
I have Edward.
Yeah.
Edward.
Oh.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
One. It's not really an anime, but it is an anime. It's like, I don't know, it's like it's a movie.
Go ahead.
It's called
That's
The
fine.
Silent Voice.
Oh, it's an animated movie. That's so long as it's an.
No, I
Movie
mean, like, I
made in
thought it was an
Japan.
anime, but it's just I thought it was a series, but it's just a movie.
Oh yeah, but so long as it's animated in Japan, free to talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The main character, Ishida, is like his mom is there for him, but it feels like they're so distant. Like, she's there for him and she wants to be there for him, but at the same time, because of how he is, he's pushing her away, and then he starts believing that, you know, he's not worth living. So, like, further into the anime, he becomes like the biggest asshole for no reason, and nobody wanted to be around him, nobody wanted to talk to him, and it took a toll on him.
Yeah, I'd say that was
Yeah.
I'd say that's a really good example.
Yeah,
Another
that's
one
good.
I would say is let's see, what is their name? God, now I'm missing the name. I will say every character from Final Fantasy series. So like,
Oh,
this is us crossing into the game world for a second, but it overlaps with the anime as well.
I was gonna
Every
say Made
Final
in Japan,
Fantasy
it counts.
protagonist.
Oh yeah, absolutely, every single one. Cloud.
There's also every kid from The Promised Neverland, which only has one season of the anime.
Gosh.
There's only one season of that anime. The second one does not
I was about to
exist.
say, are you saying because the second one is really bad?
The second one does not count. It is not there. Don't bother looking for it.
That's
There's
how
one
I feel.
season of that anime.
That's how I feel about all the freaking Sword Art Online seasons after the first one.
Yeah, that's Promised Neverland is that's neglect. That's the whole story of neglect. How do you give these kids the biggest neglect wound you can? There you go.
Ooh, I just thought of a good one too, and it's a Netflix anime. It's called A Silent Voice.
Yeah, that's the one I was just talking about.
Yeah. Oh wait, that was. I thought that was a series.
No, A Silent Voice is the movie that I thought was a series.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that dude had such bad neglect wounds. He stopped seeing people's faces.
Yeah, like he was so
I have to watch
he
it
was
now.
so like dissociated from the world that he didn't see anything around him. He paid attention to nothing around him.
Damn. I'm gonna
Literally,
watch that now.
he was like too afraid of other people to even look up, and when he did, all he just saw was like mosaic over them.
It was like a drawn face, like an X'd out face.
Oh shit! I'm gonna have to watch that. I
I
was
will
a
watch
really
it with
good
you.
movie.
I've already watched it 3 times. I will do it again.
It is a really good movie.
We could do a TikTok react to that.
I will react to that every time.
Let's see. Neglect.
Shinji.
Shinji, yeah.
I'm
obviously.
sick of Shinji. I'm so
also
sick
Asuka.
of Shinji. Yeah, Asuka also.
Shinji and Asuka actually had very similar backgrounds that caused their wounds. They just handled it in 2 completely different ways.
Yeah, you're right. They had very similar backgrounds, but they went off in 2 completely different directions.
And then there's Rei, who no one gives a shit about.
She definitely had neglect wounds, though. She had abandonment wounds.
Honestly, with Rei, I would say she caused the neglect wounds.
That doesn't mean she didn't suffer with it, though. She still had them. Just because she's the cause doesn't make them any worse. It just means that she's dumb.
Yeah. Let's see. We can actually go into villains on neglect wounds too, because that's actually a lot of villain arcs. Neglect wound is Gaara from Naruto.
Oh, yes. Yes. Well, Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely has a neglect wound.
He was just like Naruto, except instead of being picked on, he bullied, and people were afraid of him.
He did not bully until the one person he trusted attempted to murder him.
Like,
After treating him like family, all of his early kid life, literally, I'm gonna sneak into his room because I'm finally fucking done with him.
but I also feel like because his mom's spirit is in his sand, he eventually was able to shake that neglect wound because he knew that there was always somebody with him. Not to mention Naruto and Naruto's the power of friendship.
Yeah, but like you know your childhood is messed up if at 6 years old you are carving a scar into your forehead that says love because you make a vow that you will only love for yourself, love only yourself, and live only for yourself.
That's that's the epitome of neglect wounds. Merrick Ishtar from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Ooh, yeah, that's a big one. That's about as that they handle it like a lot more lightly. Like they kind of gloss over what he went through in the anime and manga, but similar to Gaara's story.
Yeah, he went through some shit, and he had some big wounds, and it turned him into such a fucking bad guy. Which technically it was the weakness that he had. It was the neglect wound that opened him up to the evil that is the Millennium Item. So, I guess that's probably why he's so powerful.
And if we're on the Yu-Gi-Oh subject, literally both Kaiba brothers.
Oh, goodness. Neglect wound, abandonment wounds, trust issues, goodness. Kaiba is a walking red flag, and I love him. I love every second of him.
Yeah, but he's married to Joey. Let's be real.
I'm definitely don't see that. So I'm a hardcore shipper. Kaiba lover, and I am not that shipper. I don't see those kind of relationships like that. Mia. Oh my god. She's still looking for the anime. She has to find it. What other Let me see, what other ones do I got? I mean, we can also go into villains because we really didn't. The Kingdoms of Ruin. There, she's found it.
That's the most silent Mia has ever been while on mic.
Dude, she is quiet as fuck. It's creepy.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of scared.
Like, why is she not saying nothing?
You good?
Is she muted on Discord?
No.
We found it! I found it! Oh my god. Yeah, it's called The Kingdoms of Ruin. Oh my god, I had to find this anime. I'm so sorry.
Clearly, she AFK'd from the whole thing and just
I was determined. I was determined to find this anime.
Yes, that is a guilt wound because he saw her die. He watched it happen, couldn't do nothing. He watched them do all that terrible... Dude, they were so extra.
For no reason.
I saw the clip on TikTok, and I was just like, holy mother of God.
Yeah, no. Not for the lighthearted.
Not for the lighthearted, but that's guilt wounds right there. That man came back with a vengeance.
Honorable mention for neglect wound.
Shoot.
Our great, wonderful, smelly belly welly trash can Dobby from My Hero Academia.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
Accurate, though, and his brother.
Oh, yeah. They both have neglect wound hard, and abandonment wounds. Abandonment from their mother, and neglect from their father.
Oh, I hate Endeavor. I'm about to go on a tangent again, because, all right, sorry.
Fuck that guy. That's all. That's
fuck
all
him. He is lumped in the group with the third fucking Hokage. Fuck Endeavor. Fuck I'm about to say fuck the third Hokage in every single episode from here on out. And just remember, y'all, fuck the third Hokage.
Just for the reminder, fuck that guy.
Fuck the third Hokage. Hiruzen Sarutobi, fuck that guy.
Endeavor, fuck
Fuck
that guy.
And then it skips a generation because you see Asuma and you're just like, all right, this is the one we like.
We do like that one.
Yeah. For neglect wounds.
Well, we've talked about the wounds themselves, but maybe we should start talking about how to deal with them.
Yeah, we should actually.
Because we have plenty of examples. We will be dealing with them all day because they've been troped in anime at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So, how would you identify sources of trauma in ways of these characters? Like, let's go with, let's see, who did we say for trust? Spike. Let's go with Spike. How would you go about identifying, like, what caused the wound and how to deal with it?
For him, I would say he needs to start actually dealing with his emotions instead of, like, just laughing it off. Either he needs to, like, think about them, accept them, talk about them, journaling, something like that.
I don't think that man would ever stop writing if he started.
Good.
Truly, he needs it. Like, if anything, if you have any major wounds like this, journaling is the first place to start. Because anytime it turns negative, focus on that negative part and you'll realize where your wound is. Like, just like, why am I thinking this? Like, okay, something like, everyone's gonna leave me for which one? Okay, hold up. Which wound? Wait, what? Why are you leaving?
I was making a joke and it didn't land. Damn it!
It did not, because it went right over my head.
I'm spared.
Anyway. Fuck you. That was perfectly timed. Anyway. Which wound were we talking about? Was it trust wounds?
Yes.
Okay, trust wounds. Okay, so there's no one I could trust. I have no friends or something like that. Then you start pinpointing why you think that. What happened to make you think that you can never trust anybody? Or I can only rely on myself.
And usually in the case of anime characters, it's a lot more obvious than in real life. We get that. But, like, anime is the closest comparison we can draw without bringing up actual case studies, which would be bad.
Yeah, we don't want to, like, anime is the perfect, like, doing it through any type of media is the perfect bridge way, I think, is to, like, because you're not talking about real people, and you're talking about examples that are very easy to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because they were written out by people with those same things and then made way bigger.
Yeah, you have to understand that they're just way romantic, like, big, I don't want to say romanticized, goodness me. Prosed out, they're, like, fleshed out, they're made huge, and they're easy to digest for kids and younger people who don't. That's why I love anime, because you can also really digest the emotions in them, because the way they draw them tend to be very expressive and do their whole, like, it's their whole bodies move when they're thinking something. So doing it through anime is very easy to digest and understandable. So
Yeah.
I mean, to say if Spike were to start journaling, one, he would never shut the fuck up, and two, he would start to say, like, I can only trust myself. Okay, then you go to the point of, well, why do I think that? What happened to make me think that I have nobody in the world to trust me? Or he would look at the patterns that he cuts himself off from people very easily, consistently. Well, why do I do that? That's the first part. That's the first and biggest part of shadow work, is identifying why you do something. You can't fix anything if you don't identify the whys.
Right. And when you identify the whys, it's not more so, okay, well, if I have to overcome this memory so I can get better, then I have to forget about it entirely. No, don't do that. You embrace it.
And I'm going to tell you is that you always have to forgive. And I'm not talking about the other people. I'm talking about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're always going to feel like you had some part to play, and that's where the wound comes from.
Right.
But you didn't.
Exactly.
You didn't. So you have to forgive yourself.
Right.
But you ain't never have to forget what those other people did. But you forgive yourself.
Become one with your shadow. Talk with your shadow. Combine with your shadow.
Understand why your shadow is the way it is. Why your shadow came into existence to protect you. Understand that your shadow only exists because it was trying to protect you from what other people were doing to it. So, you have to accept your shadow
and
to work on your shadow.
It's gonna be terrifying. It's gonna be so scary because you're gonna start experiencing such strong feelings that you tried to swallow down for so long.
But I will absolutely say, you do not have to forget what anybody did to you. Do not forget, because they showed you what they could do once, they'll do it again. So don't forget. But you need to forgive yourself. That is what forgiveness but not forgetting is about. Forgive yourself, but don't forget what the other people did. Because they showed you their real selves. Also, working with shadows and doing shadow work, I would recommend to do it with a therapist because it can be very traumatic to relive those type of memories. But I know in this day and age, not everybody can afford that shit.
Nope.
Speaking from experience. So I think that journaling out your feelings is a great way to start. Whenever you're feeling a big emotion, even if you have to do it on your fucking phone, in your little journal app on your phone, text that shit out. Or I like to use fucking text to speech, bitch. Speech to speech to text. I don't know English, man. Speech to text on my phone and just talk it out. Because I do best with verbal processing and talking it out. So if I verbalize it and just let my phone run while I'm talking my shit, usually I'll feel so much better.
Right.
Because it also escaped my body.
I personally feel like talking it out is better than typing it out. And I say that as a person who types it out because whenever I talk it out, I'm actively thinking about it, actively speaking about it, and it becomes so overwhelming that all of my emotions just start pouring and pouring, and it gets more raw and more authentic the more emotional you get. But it feels so good to let out.
That's why I always say speech to text is one of my best friends. Speech to text is one of my best friends. I use it all the time.
I can agree to that. Yeah. And sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It just feels like there is something energetically when you speak it out and just let it go. You're letting it out.
Yeah.
The energy is coming out with it. What were you gonna say, Bashi?
I'm actually kind of coming from the opposite direction because whereas you two either speak or write it out, as it were, I'm the type that goes a little bit introspective. I go quiet, and then I just that's my comfort place is my own thoughts, and I don't necessarily get them out into the world to deal with them. I kind of shelter myself, and I'll just be like, look, I need to be away socially for a little bit. I need to do nothing for a little while and think on this, and that's me. That's how I sort of process and deal with those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. everyone
There's the
processes
spectrum.
different. Yeah, there's the spectrum is everyone processes different, and something that works for one person won't work for another. So make sure that you are looking into different ways of shadow work, because there is so many different ways. There are guided journals, which I'll always recommend, even if they're like capitalism, yay, whatever. It's
Ew.
like sometimes capitalism slaps. Sorry. Like when it comes with like creating cheap journals online that people can use to for self-growth, can't complain. But
True.
you also have to know that a key part of shadow work is self-acceptance. You have to accept your flaws for what they are. They are flaws. They make you human. You can't be human if you're not flawed. Sorry. To be human is to be imperfect. And that is a beautiful thing, because that's why spirits come down to this earth, is to be human. Like, they come here for purpose. So they come here to be us. They come here to be imperfect and to learn and to explore. So just to accept yourself is the greatest thing you could do for shadow work. You will always be imperfect. Perfection is just not a thing. Okay, sorry, I went on a tangent.
No, you're good. I don't really have much I can say on this subject, as I've never really. I myself am the oldest in this group, at least age-wise, but the one with the least amount of experience when it comes to shadow work or seeing shadow work for what it is. So you're the one to speak on this subject. I'm just kind of absorbing knowledge here.
Oh, that's fair, but like, yeah, shadow work is something I say that everybody should be doing. And just for the record, meditation is as big a part of shadow work as you think it might be. So if you're meditating, you're shadow working. Good on you. You're shadow working. That's all. That's pretty much it. If you're like having a full conversation about like, why am I doing this certain thing? Why am I reacting like this? Blah 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 blah. If you're thinking about why you do something, you're shadow working. Congratulations. You're dealing with yourselves. Congratulations. Um
Hooray.
Also, boundaries. Boundaries are a huge part of shadow work. Learning when, and that's not being a bitch, just for the record. Boundaries is, and it's not something, boundaries is for you. You have to vocalize them, or they're not boundaries. Like, you can't say, oh, you crossed the boundary, I'm leaving. If you didn't tell me the boundary, there was no boundary.
There's
Like,
also, if you make exceptions for the boundary, it's not a boundary.
yes, boundary is a hard boundary. If someone says, okay, let's talk about this in role playing, since all of us do a form of role playing or understand a form of role playing. If someone's trying to ship with you and you don't say that you're not really interested, but you just act cold towards them and say, oh, you're trying to force ship with me, and you block them because they were force shipping, but you never expressed that you didn't really want to ship, there was no boundary broken. You didn't have a boundary. You blocking them is not the right thing to do. You didn't express the boundary. Not a boundary. That's just you being a dick. Boundaries are for you to vocalize. You have to say them out loud, or they're not a boundary. You have to tell them to people, or they're not a boundary. If the other person doesn't know, it's not actually a boundary. It's just something that you don't like, and you're not willing to say it, and you're being a pussy. It's like you have to hold your boundaries to yourself just as much as you hold them to other people. If you don't want certain things done to you, you can't do them to other people. Like, if it's in print, you said it, it's out there, and it is there. If you have said it to the world, that's a boundary.
Yep.
So, maintaining boundaries is a hard part of shadow work, because a lot of people don't actually know what boundaries are. Like, they don't know how to set the boundary because they don't actually speak them out loud to anybody. They just say, oh, I'm not going to let anybody speak to me this way. But when somebody speaks to you that way, you just disappear from their life. You don't actually set the boundary and let the person respond to that. If the person fucks up and speaks to you that way again, then yeah, you've set your boundary and you say fuck you and fuck off. But if the person respects your boundary, oh, you've set a boundary, you get the satisfaction of actually setting the boundary and feeling that. And they learned that they can't fuck with you like that. But you have to say the boundary. You can't just think the boundary. That's my biggest pet peeve with people's obsession with boundaries right now, is because no one actually knows how to set boundaries.
Yeah. Here's my rant coming. When you write for tabletop or you're writing characters, even if you're just a player, you are putting pieces of yourself into every character, item, landmark thing you put into a game. So as a DM, the easiest way to find inspirations for a character, what negative or positive aspects do I want to just go over the top with and make into a whole person? And that's how people work through that thing. Every DM will say, D&D is not your therapist. D&D is not meant to help with mental problems. But making stuff for D&D can be therapeutic. It can be helpful to you because you are putting this stuff out there for other people to see and seeing how they interact with it, and then you just go, huh, that wasn't so bad. Maybe I could actually be a little bit more, let's say, outgoing, a little bit more selfish for myself in these instances, versus them DMs setting up a character where players interact with them negatively. You just go, oh, I thought that was a positive trait of mine that I was displaying here, and clearly it wasn't received well. Maybe I should look into that, or I should talk to someone about that. It's a way to explore different aspects of yourself by being a completely different person. And that's honestly one of the reasons why I love DMing.
Damn, I don't know much about I don't know much about D&D, so.
Witches and Weebs one shot?
I mean, I would try Dungeons and Dragons. It's just very intimidating.
Oh no, we're not going to do 5e. 5e boring as hell. We're going Vampire the Masquerade, if anything.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
So you're a vampire. You get cool vampire powers. You have to eat humans. And vampire government is fucked up because they're trying to constantly hide from humanity, but also have enough to feed off of.
I mean, I would try it. I would try D&D. But it's like a lot to get into.
Witches and Weebs, one shot!
We could try it. I'd be down. Well, I think we did a lot of. Does anybody else have anything to say?
Honestly, no. I've been learning and absorbing through this entire episode, honestly.
It's like I am spit. So our next episode is going to be about cleansing. It's going to be episode 5, and it's going to come out on a Wednesday. It's called From Sound to Smoke to Special Herbs. What can cleanse and how to not accidentally hurt your pet. Because
you put that white sage down right now.
That, and we will talk. Of course, we will talk about what you're allowed to use and what you're not allowed to use. What is good for your pets and what is not good for your pets. Smoke cleansing is actually pretty bad for your pets if you do not have an air purifier. So just for the record. We'll talk about crystals that cleanse. We'll talk about ways to physically cleanse yourself. Ways to cleanse your home, ways to cleanse your space on the go, and mental cleansing as well. So we'll talk about all things cleansing. So that'll be our next episode.
Hooray! And we'll also talk about Witches and Weebs one shot.
Yes, we might talk about that too. I'm very excited. I'm very proud of what we're putting out here. We have 17 followers.
Oh my god!
We are famous. Dude, I'm just so impressed with the fact that we have 17 followers. Like, that's it. Like, anyway.
Alright, y'all, I'm gonna sell out immediately. I'll see you later.
I was literally just looking at one of my favorite YouTubers, and I'm so disappointed that she's totally sold out. And I'm like, dude, that'll never be me. Like, I'm always gonna want to shop cheap. Like, I'm not
Oh
gonna
my
be
god.
No.
Mia.
Oh my
No.
god.
Mia.
Oh no.
We're getting a divorce.
Girl.
Oh
I'm gonna kill you.
no. Oh no. I'm so sad.
Mia.
I wasn't even muted in the first place. Oh my gosh.
Are we gonna have to redo this whole thing?
No, it's okay. I'll
We're
be
gonna-
here for bits and pieces. It's like I took a mini vacation and zoned out because I was trying to find like, the stupid anime.
So with the
No!
disclaimer that this episode will have Mia clip editing herself in like a fucking Photoshop job.
I would not.
No, do it. It'll be funny.
I mean, oh my goodness. I hope that you're actually like.
She's gonna
okay,
be on the soundboard recording herself. Just yeah.
Yeah.
just see what-
No, she'll be the NPC streamer on the episode.
No, I'm so upset. Oh
Well, I have
my
to-
god.
Oh
Oh my
man.
gosh.
Until then, and when we fix that and get space introduced to tabletop, just remember, the door is open to those that explore. The door is closed to those that ignore. We say goodnight, but not goodbye, for all of our stars are here to shine.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thank you.
Join our
And again.
Patreon, woo!
Woo.
We haven't even gotten that thing up and running yet, but I will
know,
if
but we
people
can
want it. Because
start.
that's true. Because I want to be on Spotify. I want to be on Spotify. All right, let's wrap
I'm
this
just
shit
saying for
up.
them-
Thank you guys.
Bye everybody.
Stay
Oh, man.
safe.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
See you next time.
Again, Mia just on a soundboard NPC editing or something.
Oh, I'm so stupid. Hi, everybody. Your resident idiot, Azari here. So, for one, I didn't really capture it at the beginning of the video, but if you hadn't already noticed that I really wasn't present at the tail end of the video, it's because I did not realize that my microphone was muted. So everything that I was saying was not being picked up. And I decided to just edit some clips. So it really didn't make too much of a difference. So that's my fault. I'm so sorry, everybody. But I did have my mantra that I wanted to share that I didn't get to include because, again, I was muted. So here's a mantra that I say very often just so I can feel really good and just appreciate everything I have and everything around me. So I like to say it 3 times. You're more than welcome to repeat it with me. You're more than welcome to note it down and repeat it yourself. But here's my mantra. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am wonderful. I am worthy. I am abundant. Everything I desire, I already have. Everything I have, I am grateful for. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am wonderful. I am abundant. Everything I desire, I already have. Everything I have, I am grateful for. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am wonderful. I am worthy. I am abundant. Everything I desire, I already have. Everything I have, I am grateful for. So just to add as well, I had a lot of input for the shadow working boundaries in terms of roleplay. And you really, again, could not hear me. But I was saying that having boundaries is very important. And you can't expect everybody to know what's going on in your head. Everyone's not a mind reader. Nobody's a mind reader. If they're a mind reader, then they are majestic. But it is very important for you to speak on your boundaries. And I also mentioned that if you are a role player with an account on maybe Tumblr or Twitter, or you have a doc sheet of some rules and comfort zones and they choose not to read it, you are more than welcome then to just stop speaking to them, because it is clear as day. It is printed in text and they didn't take the time to read it to understand your boundaries. So that is the exception of just completely avoiding somebody because they didn't take their time to understand you and what makes you comfortable and what makes you uncomfortable. So don't feel bad if you fit into that category because it is 100% justified so long as it's there for people to read and pick up on. If you don't have it there, then it is very important to vocalize. I know that some people are very afraid of confrontation and they don't want to make others feel bad, but if you want to stay true to yourself and you want to continue being comfortable in that kind of community, then you need to vocalize your established boundaries. Otherwise, no one's going to know, and then you're going to feel bad about it because you feel like people are disrespecting you, and that's not something that you want. So just be very wary, be very cautious, be vocal, and love yourself, be vocal, and have people understand who you are. And I promise you that when you find people that respect your boundaries while you're also respecting your boundaries and respecting theirs, it's going to be a wonderful friendship. So until next time, I apologize again for being a little stupid, but I can't help it. It's such great character development. Anyway, see y'all next week. Bye.